Most of us aren't aware of how important the sun is when it comes to light and exposing our eyes to light. Oh, do I need to stare at the sun? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that you need to get more of that sun exposure, because there are some studies on also the benefits of red light entering your eyes for your eye health. A lot of the reason why we might also be getting more problems nowadays with our eyes is because we're not exposing our eyes enough to the sunlight. So even when we're sitting inside and we're looking through the window, we still have a glass window between ourselves and the sun. And that's also preventing you getting the full spectrum light.
Well, welcome to Biohacking with Brittany, the podcast where science meets wisdom. I'm Brittany Ford, holistic nutritionist, biohacker, and mom. And for years, I struggled with gut issues, hormonal imbalances, and the exhaustion of motherhood while running a business. Biohacking and functional medicine became my way back to clarity, vitality, and trust in my body. And that's why I'm here, not just to share information, but to share the practices and perspectives that truly shifted my health and my life. Each week, I bring you science-backed tools, honest conversations, and rituals I live myself so you can return to your own body's wisdom and create longevity on your own terms. Because your body already knows this is just the space to remember. Welcome back, everyone, to my 12 holiday rituals. I am so excited that you are joining me today. This is such a cool time. I'm doing this massive holiday giveaway campaign where I am giving away over $5,500 US worth of wellness, biohacking, and longevity tech and gear and products. This is so cool. It's running for 12 days. And if you want to enter, you can. It is through one link for 12 different prizes that you can win. Every day is a different prize. And you can find the link below in the show notes. It's everywhere. It's on my website. It's linked in my bio. Anywhere you need it, you'll be able to find it. BIOHACKINGBRITTANY.com. I'm BIOHACKINGBRITTANY on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere like that as well. And so you get to enter, and it's worldwide. And all you have to do is follow the different requirements, and we will be notifying winners at the beginning of January. The competition, I guess, or whatever giveaway is open until December 24th. So you have lots of time to enter. But I highly suggest you do so right now while you are thinking about it. In today's episode, we are talking all about blue light and blocking blue light and blue light blocking glasses. And this is so cool. I absolutely love Filter Optix. They, in my opinion, create the best blue blockers on the market. And I talk about this in the episode. I just think the quality is the best I've ever had, ever seen. And usually they're sitting on my desk, but my husband actually is borrowing them right now. Ryan, he's using the yellow ones. The quality is so good with these glasses. Like, I kid you not, it feels like sturdy, so well made, well designed, high end, high quality, luxury blue blocking glasses. These are luxury blue blocking glasses. I cannot stress that enough. And you need a pair. So I have the yellow ones that you wear during the day, and then I have the red ones that you wear at night. And for the giveaway, when you enter, you can win a yellow and a red pair. So you will win both. And that is amazing. I think the value is, let me check. I think the value is something like, over $700 worth of glasses, which is incredible. And I just love them so much. And they're the best. If you do want to order them, I also have a discount code, BioHackingBrittany, and you can use my discount link so that you can save if you want to get a pair yourself. In this podcast episode, I got to sit down with Robin Andersen, who is a Norwegian engineer and the co-founder of Filter Optix. And this is an eyewear company that really takes science and combines it with luxury and design, which is like what I'm all about. I'm literally obsessed with them. And they create these lenses that support healthier light exposure and sleep. And like I said, I wear these at night and during the day, especially when I'm working a lot and in front of the camera and on my computer a lot. Clear, yellow, orange, and red. So they actually have clear ones, which have a slight yellow tint to them. I have these as well. Just like very slight, like small, just to kind of reduce some of that eye fatigue and like muscle tension that you might get like in between your brows and on the sides of your eyes. So check these out. They are just beautiful. Like I can't even express it enough. It's one of my favorite brands that I work with. They are the best in the industry. And seriously, enter the giveaway because you could win 2 pairs, like over $700 US dollars worth of eyewear, which is an amazing, amazing deal. And I really hope everyone enters. It's open worldwide. I will link that. Everything is taken care of. Enjoy this podcast episode with Robin. I think you're going to learn a lot. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's a dad. We talk about like having kids and light exposure and tech and all these different things. And it was just awesome to connect with him, even though he's so far away. So enjoy this, and I will catch you soon for another episode. We're dropping episodes every day for these 12 days, the first 12 days of December. Subscribe, leave a review, all the things, because we really appreciate your support. And stay tuned because the winners of all of these giveaways will be announced January 4th, which is a big deal. And I hope you win. So good luck, and I will catch you tomorrow for another episode. Robin, welcome to the show from Filter Optix. For everyone who is watching on YouTube and Spotify, I guess, you would see that he is wearing, I think they're the orange glasses from Filter Optix. They're not
That's right.
exactly the red ones because I have the red and I have the yellow. And we're going to dive all into this. But let's start with you right now. Why are you wearing the orange glasses and not the red?
Very good question. Well, there are a couple of reasons. One is that the orange is not as dark. So if you want to be, if you want to see a little bit better in the evening, if you have things that you want to do, it's a little bit difficult with the red ones because if you already dim the lights or if it's dark outside, then you might need some brighter lights or you just need to sit still. So the orange, we say, is a little bit more versatile because you can do more things with it. You can go out with them even at night, but with the red ones, you might end up tripping.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't think I've actually ever had orange ones. I've only ever had red, and now I have the yellow ones.
Yeah.
And
Though,
yeah.
I was going to say the orange one is also, I'd say, a good transition if you have both. So you can get things done, but it also helps you calm down. Or if you're the kind of person that wants to see a little bit more colors because oftentimes you want to be entertained, you want to see some colors on the TV. The red ones are going to be just red. So if you can accept that, then go straight for the red.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've been using like blue blocking glasses on and off for years, and I really do notice a difference with the red ones at night. Even in my room, I have red lights, like they can go red, but it's still, I guess it's like the brightness of the red still, I feel like kind of like impacts me. But then when I wear your glasses when I'm reading at night, like I definitely feel this like sense of calm. And is that kind of like the feedback that you get from people who are like new to using blue blocking glasses?
Yeah. So a lot of people often ask also the question of, well, I have this red filter or night filter on my phone, on my screen, but the common feedback and what I also experience is that you're not able to capture or filter all the lights that kind of awaken you or energizes you. So by using the glasses, you can cover, all lights coming in and the right kind of lights so that these light or colors have been optimized to filter out the exact wavelengths that you want to filter out for optimal effect. So yeah, I would say also if you have a family life, not everyone wants to turn down the lights or they want to be doing things around you, turn on the lights. It's a little bit difficult to turn everything red or, turn off all the lights because people in the family have different preferences.
Yeah.
So then I think the glasses are the great option.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Cause like obviously it just impacts your eyes then, not necessarily like the light of the entire house. But to just kind of backstep a bit for people who might not really understand how blue light works and why it might even matter, like what would you say to them who maybe this is the first time they're being like introduced to this concept in general?
Right. So initially, when I was introduced to this, I didn't really believe it myself. It's science shows that light affects us. It affects our circadian rhythm. So we understand that our hormones are closely related to the cycle of night and day and the sun and everything around that. In the morning, when you wake up, you go outside. A lot of people might have heard, go outside, get that sunlight in the morning because it sets your circadian rhythm. And that is also the time that you start getting that blue light in the morning, which is a high frequent energetic light that energizes you. And it's light that you actually want to see, and because you want to get going in the morning, you want that energy. And throughout the day, the sun will naturally start showing less and less of the blue light. So towards the end of the day, it'll go more and more over to the red light spectrum and less of the blue. And that will calm you down. So it helps you wind down. Now, our artificial lights from our screens are, especially like the LED lights, fluorescent lights, all those lights, they're very high energetic lights because they're also cost saving. Using the blue light spectrum saves energy, but at the same time, it's very high energetic, and it's a wavelength around 450 nanometers, which is also kind of isolated blue light. You'll have a few of the other lights combined with that blue light as well. But if you look at the graph of how it looks, you'll see it spikes up really sharp on the 450, and then it goes down again, and you have a little bit of the red light. You don't really notice that when looking at the screens, but your body notices it, and that energizes you when, especially in the evening, for example, if you're supposed to wind down, if you're supposed to get your melatonin up, which is, your melatonin is quite sensitive. So if you're energizing yourself, so what happens is with the energy comes cortisol. So the cortisol in your body is often known as the stress hormone. Now, stress in itself isn't bad. It's chronic stress that's bad. So that cortisol boost that you get in the morning is good for you because you're actually using the cortisol. But it's when you're spiking your cortisol when you're supposed to wind down, that's when you're kind of have a conflicting hormone imbalance, because you want to be getting less cortisol in the evening because then you're able to get your melatonin up. So if your stress levels go up, then your melatonin goes down. And that's how you want to put on the glasses, to avoid that high frequent stressful light so that you're able to wind down and get your melatonin up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Like I feel this all the time. I'm pretty sensitive to light now. And I was thinking about this the other day, is because I have my house go red at night and I dim the lights and everything is like this warm glow in the house, or I use glasses, or I do both. I wonder if my eyes have become more sensitive to blue light now when I am exposed at night, because I was just traveling in Florida this week and I didn't have access to the light and these things that I normally have, although I had your glasses with me. And it was harder the one night for me to go to sleep. Like it took me like 90 minutes or something. Like it was way harder because there was so much blue light and we were doing all these things. And is it possible that, I don't know if this makes sense, but like, is it possible that over time reducing blue light at night makes you more sensitive to it in the future?
Yes. I do think so. And I think you can equate it to, how you stay away from bad food, crappy food. So you're eating healthy and you do it for a while, and then you eat something that's really shitty, and then afterwards you just feel awful. You're like, I used to eat this all the time before. I didn't feel this way afterwards, but now you do for some reason. And I think it's because when you're in a state of constant elevated cortisol, because that happens also when you eat bad food, you increase the stress in the body, increasing cortisol, and so that imbalance, you get a more acute stronger reaction when you're not used to it. But at the same time, when you're not exposed to it all the time, you're also, you could say that your body has less stress to be, worried about or working with, so that your body is also able to, heal the parts of the body that needs healing, because we're always, trying to heal certain parts of our bodies. It's just that when you have like a constant stress or a chronic type of stress, the more stress you have in the body, the less your body is able to handle all the ailments. So having that elevated cortisol over time makes it easier to maybe handle the extra load of cortisol. But at the same time, overall, like on long term, it's not good because you're constantly stressing your body more than giving it break.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder, I just think back about like when I wasn't using the glasses and just struggling with sleep so much. Like even when I was a teenager, like I used to struggle with like falling asleep, staying asleep, and and then it just like impacts your day. And like you said, like you're stressed the next day and everything that you're actually able to do. My husband works in a really intense job. He works in tech. He works on Zoom calls like all day. And he sometimes gets migraines. And I always tell him, I'm like, it's your computer. It's you staring at your computer every single day for 9 hours. He doesn't wear your glasses, but now that I have the yellow ones, like I'm actually gonna like give them to him and see if he'll start to wear them. Because like we thought it might be gluten or this kind of, you've probably heard of it like the bucket theory, right? Like you fill up, and then like there's just one little thing and it overflows, and then you get whatever symptoms. So it's not necessarily the gluten that's really the issue. It's like your body's kind of like we were talking about, the overload of all of the stressors.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so have you talked to people or done research or know anything about a potential link between migraines and headaches and overexposure to blue light?
Yeah, so I don't know or can't reference any studies, but it's a common topic that we're discussing with people around us and with our customers, which often give us feedback about our yellow glasses in this case, because the thing is, naturally, we're not supposed to be staring into a light all day. For hours and hours staring into a light, even though you could say that blue light in itself isn't bad for you, it's that constant stare into that blue light, and you're not getting the full spectrum. You're getting that, specific wavelength, which can be overstimulating, especially if you're looking at it constantly for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of people thinking when they're working long days, you also get used to the idea that you're supposed to feel fatigued afterwards, right? That's like the common notion that I've worked all day, but technically you don't have to. You should, or you can also be full of energy after a full day of work if you have proper breaks, or you don't have that constant light in your eyes, because it's that overstimulation which then tires you out, because it's also that elevated stress. A lot of people talk about the fatigue, the migraines, the sore eyes. A friend of mine, he was telling me his eyes just always dried out and that he was struggling so much with it. And he didn't think the yellow glasses would do that much, but surprisingly enough, he put them on or started using, he bought them. And then he's like, I can't believe my eyes feel so much better now. And just the fact that your eyes are able to relax, because it's that stressor, which then overstimulates them, tires them out, dries them out. And then you start feeling these dry, sore eyes, or it can be the migraines, headaches. So yeah, it's definitely something we hear a lot about.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so when I actually, how clean are these? They're pretty clean. I want to like actually show on the camera what this looks like. Let's see if I can do this. Like, let's see if I can actually put this up too, so people can see. So this is the daytime, like what it looks like. And what surprised me about these is like wearing them is like, I feel like a reduction in tension in my skin around my eyes and here. So like in here and here, it just feels like,
it's true.
I don't even, and that surprised me.
Yeah. And imagine, because some people can also talk about, if you get too much tension just by putting up your hair too tight, or it can be, other stressors, or just the constant frown that then stresses your just nerve endings, which then, creates migraines. And just by putting on these glasses, helping you relax your face more, relax your eyes, helps you also relax internally. But all of those, factors helps you relax and feel less stressed and, feel much better after a whole day of work.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. Like even right now, I've been wearing them for like 2 minutes or whatever. I actually feel already less stressed.
Yeah.
Not that I was super stressed before, but like, right? Like
There's a
every day.
difference. You notice. Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And also what I want to point out is what I'm hearing from you is that not that this is like too much of a concern, but less squinting is less wrinkles, which, is great for the skin. So for everyone who's like wanting to like care about beauty, like actually though, because you don't even realize when on camera right now, it's different. We can see ourselves. So you're very aware. But when you're writing an email, you don't realize like you're going this, you're frowning, all the things
I'm
you're
doing a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Exactly.
I'm like thinking and
Exactly. So if like there's suddenly this like relaxation around your forehead and your eyes and your eyebrows, it's like, wow, okay, let me take a breath.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. Nothing's on fire,
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I love. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna get my husband to start wearing these because I'm so curious.
The thing is that it's so easy to implement, because this is not something like you have to change your whole life or your whole diet or exercise routine or anything like that. It's not like this, big program that you need in order for this to work. It's very simple, and you'll notice right away, or most people do. Some people might need to wear them a little bit first, but so many people just talk about what you just said. I just put them on right now and I just feel so much better. Like, why? Can you tell me why? And yeah, it's because it helps you relax. And with the orange one or red ones, then it's like you really feel like you're relaxing for preparing for bed. Going, through putting on the glasses before going to bed is, I actually really look forward to putting on my glasses always, because it helps me just relax, and it's like preparing myself. And when I go to bed, it feels right. I feel like my system is ready, and it's not like I'm going, 100 miles an hour in my head, or, I've already prepared myself. It's also, of course, a way to create a routine, because routines are also very good for your circadian rhythm, because your body gets used to and adapts to your routines. So that can also be, with how you eat, how you exercise, how you sleep. The better your routines are, the better your body will try to, correlate and create the best sleep and circadian rhythm for you.
Yeah. I find putting on my glasses is like a trigger. Or even like when I dim my lights in my room, like same thing, right? It's like this is wind down time. This is like it just I really need that. And I've just actually started using your red light glasses more again because we have a baby and he's 16 months now. And now he's sleeping through the night. Thank the Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Anyway.
I know how you feel. My kid is 23 months right now.
Okay.
Almost 2 years. And he's not been the best sleeper. So yeah, if getting good quality sleep at night, it's so important.
Yeah. So I have like prescription glasses that are like no color to them. I actually think I got them through you guys.
Yeah.
But they're clear.
Yeah, we got those as well.
Yes. But you know what? I think they're clear, but they actually do have a little bit of tint to them. Is that correct?
They do. That is correct.
Okay. Well, in the middle of the night when I used to feed him, I wasn't going to wear 2 pairs of glasses, but I know you can do prescription red glasses, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
But then I found that, and I don't know how you guys did it in your house, like what your setup was, your situation. What we did was like, I would hear him on the monitor. You should see my monitor, by the way. It's like a screen, and I took red tape and I put it on top of the entire screen.
Because it's a blue screen?
Because it's a blue screen. It was so bright at night. And then I'm lying there at 3 a.m. The monitor's going off. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even look at this thing. So I put red tape on top of it. Anyway, Like, I don't even turn the lights on. Like, I just keep it off. I go into his room, keep it pitch black. Like, I don't do it. I don't touch light at all because I know how much it impacts his circadian rhythm. So,
Yeah.
what do you guys do, or what did you do in your house when your baby wakes up? Because obviously you understand how important light is.
Yeah. That is a good question. I don't think we ever turned on the lights. I love walking in the dark. To be honest, my wife doesn't love it as much as I do, but yeah, I love the darkness. It sounds kind of weird, but just walking in the dark and finding my way around. I always, of course, have an idea of where I am in the room, but of course, I bump into things. No, I love the soothing feeling of the darkness, and I also know how, like, the impact light has on waking up and then having to try to get back to sleep again. I would always, just keep the lights off and just, yeah, it was, different periods. He needed different, type of attention as well. So in the beginning, it's like you had to pick him up, but then after a while, it was more just, letting him know that I was there for him, and just, calming him down, soothing him. Right. Right.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Even when I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like, I don't turn any lights on.
Hmm.
Because I've just learned so much over the years of, like, even a small light, even when the moon is too bright in the windows. And now I feel like I'm so sensitive. Yeah. But the thing is like, I need to sleep well. So what am I supposed to do? Is it true that people with lighter color eyes, like blue or green, are more sensitive to light?
Yes. And here's just also a very simple example. But so I see better in the dark than my wife. My wife is black, so she is blind in the dark. But when it's super bright, like, I have to squint. Like, I can barely see, like in the bright sun, while she's relaxing her face and she doesn't have to squint or anything, it's because the way the light is kind of reflecting from our, like, cheekbones in this area here. It's like the light is captured, so it reflects and goes into our eyes. So in the darkness, when there's very little light, having pale skin will then, of course, reflect more light than having dark skin. While in the sun, when you want, if you want to wear shades, or if you don't have shades, then that light is much brighter for those that have pale skin, because the dark skin will absorb more of the light, so it doesn't feel as intense.
That's crazy. I've never heard that before. Actually, we were watching the baseball World Series because Toronto was in it. I don't know much about baseball, but I was talking to my husband, and they put, like, you probably know, like, they put the black tape underneath their
That's right.
eyes.
Yep.
And I remember asking my husband, I was like, why are they wearing this, like, black paint or tape or whatever? And he said exactly what you said, because the sun
Exactly.
reflects and absorbs the light so they can see better. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
it can't be
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the reason. That's right.
Lo and behold.
Yeah.
And so is that true, even if, like, for that specific example or just in general, like, would that only hold true with sunlight? Or if they're playing in a stadium with bright lights, well, is it also true?
Yeah. No, it's any light.
That's wild and so smart and like
Yeah.
a hack. Like, how are they allowed to do that? I guess, I mean, why
Yeah.
not?
No, but so in the summer, I kind of refuse to wear sunglasses. Not that I refuse, but I mean, I prefer not to, because I know that it's getting that natural sunlight into your eyes is very healthy and good for you. But I also find it difficult to, unless I'm like closing my eyes and just laying in the sun, but to relax your face, because, you don't want to be squinting all the time, because that also, stresses you a little bit. But yeah, it's something that I often think about, is because you want to expose yourself to that sun. But for us that are pale, it can be a little bit of a challenge in the bright light.
Sunglasses make me feel tired, and I never wear them.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
just can't. I
Yeah.
I I feel like I'm tired. I feel like I can't see properly.
Hmm.
I've always felt like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, also the health benefits is like I want the sunlight into my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of us aren't aware of how important the sun is when it comes to light and exposing your eyes to light. Some people think that, oh, do I need to stare at the sun? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that you need to get more of that sun exposure, because there are some studies on also the benefits of red light entering your eyes for your eye health. And there's probably, multiple other reasons as well, but a lot of the reason why we might also be getting more problems nowadays with our eyes is because we're not exposing our eyes enough to the sunlight. So even when we're sitting inside and we're looking through the window, we still have a glass window between ourselves and the sun. And that's also preventing you getting the full spectrum light. So that same thing, putting on sunglasses, you're preventing the light from entering your eyes. So being able to remove all kind of barriers in between your eyes and the sun is actually quite important for your eye health.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think about this too because I have contacts on, and I think about like how much light actually gets through when I wear contacts every single day.
Yeah. That's a good question. I haven't thought too much about that, but I don't know how contacts, how different they are compared to your actual lenses, on your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty thin, but I still feel like even on the box, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it will say like it blocks UVB, maybe UVA. I'm not sure.
Mm.
But there is something that talks about how it does block the UVs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have some, I don't know the answer regarding UV and on what you should and shouldn't be exposed to, because I know for many years we've talked about, be careful with the UV, but at the same time, it's a part of the full spectrum light that you get from the sun. And that's how we've evolved as well. I think we have more eye issues nowadays than we did in the past. And so, I don't think we're solving our problems with sunglasses.
Yeah, I know. I know. I hear you. I'm actually getting LASIK eye surgery in a few weeks. I think like I know it's exciting, but I know there's risk to it
Hmm.
because like obviously some people have like a lot of sensitivity to light at night afterwards or dry eye. And I've been like thinking about then I wouldn't have to wear contacts once obviously I've healed, right? So then my eyes are gonna be getting more light. I also think about like, I mean, this is beyond probably the scope of this conversation, but I think about like someone was telling me that contacts are constantly rubbing like microplastics into your system every single day. And I've been wearing contacts for like 15 years already, right? And then also like the disruption to the microbiome on the eye of
Yeah.
like, because obviously there's like a saline solution,
Right.
right? And so it's like, well, but then you're doing this surgery where you're like slicing the eye open, and like any type of surgery, there's always going to be some sort of scar and some sort of risk. So yeah, eye health is so interesting. I don't know. I don't know if you have any experience with LASIK, but that's kind of like the place that I'm in.
I have family members that have had it. Fortunately and ironically, I'm the only one in the family that hasn't had any issues with my eyes. But yeah, so many in my family have done these operations. If it's LASIK or some other kind of lens operations, because they can do, you know, corrections with just operating on your lens in a way as well. You can insert lenses and so on. So yeah, and they've all been successful. So I think they're getting really good today. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my decision came down to like, which you can obviously relate to is like, now that I'm a parent, if something were to ever happen and a contact were to slip or I didn't have my glasses with me and I was with my kid, that like puts him at risk because like I can't drive, I can't see far. And so it kind of just changed when I became a parent of like, and my prescription's bad enough where like I actually can't drive. Like I would not be able to if there was an emergency. So when you start to actually think about it in the context of your life, it's like, well, I think this is something I need to do. But I know that I will definitely be using my glasses, the red and the yellow, probably way more afterwards during that healing
Yeah.
period.
I think it's definitely going to help you relax your eyes after getting the
Yeah.
operation.
Yeah, they give you glasses and I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're like basically black and they go on the sides too.
Okay.
And you have to wear them for 24 hours.
Right.
And no phones, no screens, no reading, no nothing. We'll see.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. And speaking of kids, like, what do you think about kids and toddlers wearing sunglasses?
Again, I'd rather recommend um, just wearing hats, sun hats, caps, and that's what I mainly use because you can get surprisingly effective shade from the sun for your eyes with just that. And so, yeah, I would rather recommend a hat.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Someone was telling me to put sunglasses on my kid, and I was like, I don't think so. I think I think hats are perfectly fine. And again, like going back to just like keeping their circadian rhythm as aligned with nature as much as
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah.
I think is really great. Like in our nursery, we have red lights. I even bought like little plug-in red night lights that can dim and go like super dark red. So it's just a little bit if we need it.
hmm
Because you really do have to think about these things like when you're actually prioritizing family health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure you're,
we
yeah.
think about it as well. Yeah, we also have dimming lights. We like to dim the lights first and foremost. So yeah, just those things. And regarding, being out in the sun, I think it's also important to talk about being able to limit your exposure to the sun because I think we often talk about just like, okay, how can we better endure the sun? But I think we have to also, there's a balance with everything. So, and that goes for also training, right? You can't just, or the sun or anything that you do that's for your health, you can't just max it. You have to do things in moderation. And the sun is, one of the most powerful things in nature that can really burn you. And so it's exposing yourself to the sun, but with the right amount. So it's important to also get those breaks. So, for example, in talking about sunscreen, because that's also a big topic nowadays, I stopped using sunscreen several years ago because I thought, there are many reasons why it's not effective, and there are, people talking about how it could also do some damage and maybe increase risks of cancer and so on, and toxins. It's all that. But I used to get more sunburns before when I used sunscreen than when I stopped using sunscreen, which is kind of interesting because you would think that you'd get more sunburns after stop using it. The thing is, I would be much more aware of the sun. That's one thing. I'd also go outside in the sun early so that before the sun is strong, in the springtime before the sun is too strong, or during the day during the summer when it's really hot. And with those, just and being aware of how strong the sun is and not being too much out in the sun at once, just helped me prime my skin and made it much more durable.
I love that. Yeah, that's really interesting. I use it on my face, but yeah, I mean, I guess I do like the piece of it making you become more skin and sun aware. I think that's like super important. Yeah. I'm when you're talking about like the sunlight exposure, like I'm just even looking at my setup right now is like my computer behind my computer is a window with the natural light coming through. But then I'm wearing glasses that blocks a lot of this light. So like how do you balance like during a typical workday if you work from home or you're in front of a computer with a window when you need both, but then also even the window blocks some of the light that comes through. So like how do you know how much to get and if you're getting too much or too little?
Yeah. Well, I think just sitting in front of a computer all day is by itself just too much because we need that break. We need proper sun exposure. So if your job allows you to take a break, go outside and, get the intermittent sun exposure, I think that could be the most optimal thing because then you're both, you know, able to relax and get that sun. And then you can remove your glasses. You just get that natural sunlight. And then you go back inside, work, put on your glasses. And then, of course, I think it's good to have natural sunlight coming in your window because it also does something with the mood. If you were to just pull down the blinders and work in the darkness, it would affect your mood as well. So having the sun coming in your window, even having a great view helps your mood. So, I mean, all those things I think are very good. And I think taking short breaks in general is very good for you. So when you take those breaks, you can take off your glasses and relax a little bit. And yeah,
I love that.
I think that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely take breaks. I'm honestly like I get up probably every hour and a half, but I work
That's
from
pretty good.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like easy, you know, like I go make coffee downstairs. Like I have like all the flexibility. So there's no excuse for me, essentially, is what that means.
Yeah, I'm in an office and it can be tough sometimes because you have so much to do and you're just so focused and you just have so many things to get done. And that's why I also think it's good to be able to have the glasses, because when you're not able to regulate and take those breaks, at least you have the glasses that will at least alleviate a lot of that stress.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. My last question for you is I'm just thinking about even like my nighttime routine. So, like, we are like full on in winter now here in Canada. I'm leaving soon. I'm going south warm
Are
for
you?
this winter.
Where?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Where? So, we're going to Panama and then Nicaragua and then Costa Rica and then Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We're leaving because I don't like the winter. It doesn't align with my health and my life, and it's just not. Anyway.
That's nice.
Yes, yes, we've been planning it for a while. But it's winter here now, and it, you know, like we're sitting at like 2:45 p.m. right now, but man, it's like dark by like 5:30. It's so depressing. Like it's so depressing, and it's not like in Canada, it's not just the cold and the snow, it's how dark it gets, and your whole day is so short. It's really hard. Like mentally, it's really hard for a lot of people. Anyway, so when we're using glasses, like if it's dark at 5:30, do I use the red from 5:30? And then in the summer, it's bright until 10. So do I use them at 10? Like when do I actually integrate them when it changes so much seasonally?
Yeah. So I'm from Norway, so I'm pretty far up north myself. So I'm quite used to also that, change in the daylight. And for us, it can get dark in the middle of the winter. It starts getting dark at 2:00 in the day. Yeah. So you go to work, it's dark, you go home, it's dark. So yeah, it's not great. But one thing that I do is I have a called lamp. I think it's called a sad lamp. It's so for like seasonal depressive disorder or something like that. But it's a lamp that just gives you a kind of a full spectrum light. So if you start out your day with something like that, it helps you set your circadian rhythm. It helps your hormones. So a lot of people will, get depressed during this time of the year. As for when to put on the red and orange glasses, we normally say put them on an hour or two before you go to bed. So because putting them on too early, you start signaling to the body, now we're getting close to going to bed. So I think putting on the glasses at the same time each evening, so at, an hour or two before you go to bed, that will help you create that routine and help you wind down. And you can put them on earlier. I'm not going to say it's not good for you, but if you want to keep your energy, if you don't want to wind down quite yet, I would wait until you want to wind down. And normally for most people, you're busy up until an hour or two before you go to bed. So that's the best time.
Okay. Yeah, because I like to go to bed around 9. So putting them on at 8 makes sense, I guess. And usually I'm done eating by 8 as well.
Yeah.
And my kids asleep by 8.
9 is early. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I have stuff to do.
I go to bed at 10. But 9, that's good.
Like I like
when do you wake up?
Between 5 and 6. Yeah. Yeah, because I've started doing like a morning routine before my kid gets up now that he's sleeping through the night. So like I have a home gym. So I go and do like my meditation, my journaling, and my workout, ideally before he wakes up. And that's like the great, like not the perfect day, but a really great day, because otherwise it's really hard to get it in with how much I'm doing. And it's really nice, as you know, to have time to yourself when you're a parent. And it's hard to come by. So
yeah, it is.
Anyway, but even before I was doing that, like we go to bed around 9, but we read in bed, right? So we turn the lights off between 9:30 and 10.
Right. Okay. So you don't sleep from 9. You
no,
go to bed at 9.
Right? Yeah. Earliest I would like actually turn the lights off and sleep out would be 9:30, but it's usually closer to 10. something like that. But
Yeah.
I find that's pretty easy to do in the winter. But in the summer, like putting the blue blocking glasses, like the red ones on at 8 p.m. is hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I just look outside and it's still bright and then the sun is going to go down. It's so pretty. And like we eat later as well. So like our whole circadian rhythm actually shifts a bit, right? Because
Yeah.
we have dinner at 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. and we're outside. So I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there
And
is
then,
some
but
leeway there.
I think so too. And that's why I say an hour or two before you go to bed. And if it changes from winter to summer, it's still going to be the same. So it's not going to have to be this exact same time on your clock. It's just going to be according to when you go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I do want to like give a shout out to your glasses, and I am going to link them in the show notes for everybody. But I just want to say yours are the highest quality ones I have ever used, ever had, ever touched, like whatever.
Great. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
We've put in so much effort and details into our glasses. So we love to hear that feedback.
Yeah. You can tell they're just like, even just like wearing them right now, like they almost have a bit of weight to them. I don't know. They don't feel flimsy and plasticky and fake and cheap. And like, I've had so many people send me theirs and it's just like, it just feels like garbage. Like to be honest, like it just does. But yours, I'm like, no, keeping these forever. Like these are so nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So for everyone listening, we're going to hop into my private community now. I'm going to answer some questions. Well, no, I'm going to ask the questions. You're going to answer some questions. But before we do so, where can people connect with you? And where can they order your glasses if they want to give them a try?
Yeah. So you can just visit our website, filteroptix.com. We also have virtual try-ons if you're interested. So you can try on our glasses before you buy them virtually. And yeah, just we have collections, red collection, orange collection, yellow collection. Just browse through and you can easily try them on. If you want, you can also visit our Instagram. That's where we're most active, and it's just at Filter Optix. You can find us on other channels as well, but you'll find us most active on Instagram.
Yeah. And I think I have a discount code with you guys. So I think it's probably BIOHACKINGBRITTANY, or maybe it's just a link, but I'll find that.
I think it's BIOHACKINGBRITTANY. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll link that and I'll put it in the show notes and on my website. Definitely recommend both the yellow and the red. Like the combo deal is like the best. So I'll hook everybody up. Thanks for coming on the show. This was awesome. And it was so good to chat with you.
Thank you. It was very nice.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Biohacking with Brittany. I hope today's conversation gave you something to take into your own life, a practice, a perspective, or simply a reminder to trust your body. If you love this episode, please leave a review, share it with someone else who could benefit, and join me over on Instagram at BiohackingBrittany for more. And if you're ready to go deeper, you can explore my retreats, community, favorite tools, all linked for you in the show notes. Until next time, remember, your body already knows.